Welcome back to Godly Play. Today we're going to do part 4 of our series, Knowing Jesus Better, Known in the Morning. Let's get started. The woman at the tomb, known in absence. Jesus and 2 of his followers breaking bread, known in the breaking of the bread. Thomas kneeling before Jesus, known in doubt. The disciples in the boat, fishing in the morning, known in the morning. On the 4th Sunday in the season of Easter, we remember how disciples went north to Galilee as Jesus told them. It was a long journey, some 80 miles. It took about 4 days to walk. Many of them were fishermen, so they went to the Sea of Galilee to rest. This was a place they knew as boys. They had fished there with their fathers. Soon they pushed out onto the lake, and the sail filled with wind. They fished all night, but they caught nothing. Still, the sounds and the smells of the lake comforted them. They were home. In the morning, the sky turned pink and then blue. They could make out the shore and someone standing by a fire. They could see the smoke and red glow from the charcoal burning. "Have you caught anything?" All they could say was no. "Throw your nets in on the other side." What could they lose? They pulled in the empty nets and threw them out on the other side. They could feel the fish moving as they held the ropes. John was not paying attention to fish. He leaned forward and watched the man moving on the shore. He said to Peter, "It is the Lord." Peter stood up. He jumped. He swam. He felt the sand under his feet and waded ashore. The others turned the boat toward land. The nets were so full they could not pull them in, so they dragged them behind the boat. As they walked toward the fire, the stranger called out, "Bring some fish." When they gathered around the fire, the stranger was no stranger. They all knew it was Jesus, but they were afraid to say anything. "Have some breakfast." There were fish cooking on the fire. He gave them fish and bread. They talked as they ate. The fish and the bread also tasted of home. Then Jesus asked Peter, "Do you love me?" "Yes, of course," Peter said. "Feed my lambs." "Do you love me?" "Yes, tend my sheep." "Do you love me?" "You already know I do. Feed my sheep." He then began to talk to Peter about growing old and how you need help in old age. Sometimes people tell you what to do, even if you don't want them to. Years later, they wondered if Jesus had been preparing Peter for his death in Rome as an old man. Jesus said, "Follow me." Did he mean all of them? No. Peter got up, and the two of them walked along the shoreline. Peter looked back and saw John following them. "What about this man? Will he die like the rest of us?" "It is not for you to know such things." Peter fell silent, and Jesus was gone. I wonder what part of this story you liked best. I wonder what part is most important. I wonder what part of the story is about you, or especially for you. I wonder if we can leave out any of the story and still have all that we need. I wonder if you have anything in your home or in the room you're in right now that you could add to this story. I have 2 things that I could add to this story. Come with me. The first thing I could add are these sheep. In this story, Jesus says, "Tend my sheep, feed my sheep." These are a reminder that we need to feed Jesus' sheep, which are Jesus' people. You might also remember these from a previous story. One is frankincense and one is myrrh. In the story, it talks about the smells of home. These 2 oils were given to Jesus' family when he was born. I use these oils in my home to remind me of Jesus. And lastly, to remind you of last time and the time before that, I also have my Book of Common Prayer. Have a wonderful week.